Shalom and welcome to Simchat Yisrael. We've been through Rosh Hashanah, Kol Nidre, Yom Kippur, Sukkot, Shmini Atzeret, and now finally the holiday season comes to an end with Simcha Torah, the celebration of God's gift of the Torah. On Simcha Torah, we celebrate the end of the yearly Parsha reading cycle by dancing with the scrolls and rolling the Torah back to the beginning so that we can start reading it all over again. Before we begin, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel down below. For thousands of years, Jews have been fascinated with the Torah. We read it over and over again every year. And that's a funny thing if you think about it. The word Torah in English is usually translated as the law, because this scroll contains the 613 commandments that make up the mitzvot. Technically, this is a legal document. I took the liberty of going to the library and grabbing a few other legal books. This one is called American Jurisprudence, Pleading and Practice Forms, the Annotated Revised Version. It sounds fascinating, but I think I'll give it a pass. Maybe this one will be more to my liking. Interstate Commerce Acts, 1956, Supplement Volume 17, Supplementary Acts and Rules of Practice. Now, some folks watching this may have passed the bar before. Now, you may dance when you finish one of these books, but you don't eagerly turn it back to page 1 and joyfully start reading it again, right? But our Torah is different. Why? Maybe it's because it's so much more than just a book of law. Let me tell you a story about a young man named Sam, a young soldier who was sent off to battle during World War II. Before he leaves, he says a tearful goodbye to his wife and little baby girl and heads off to war, far from home, not knowing if or when he'll come back. Every week, his commander gives out letters to the soldiers from back home. Every week, Sam waits eagerly to hear from his wife, but weeks go by and nothing comes. Finally, after months of loneliness, he hears what he's been waiting for so long. "Sam, you got a letter." He runs over and he opens it up, and right away he recognizes his handwriting. He goes to the corner, far away from everyone else, and reads the letter. "I miss you so much. It's hard being alone, but I'm keeping up the work on the farm. And our little girl, she took her first steps. You would have been so proud. I can't wait to show you the photos. Come back to us soon. We miss you so much. I love you forever." Tears streaming down his face, the soldier finishes reading the letter. When he's done, what does he do with it? Does he crumple it up and throw it in the fire? Of course not. Sam finishes the letter, and then he goes back to the top and he reads it again. Then he folds it up gently and puts it in his chest pocket, right next to his heart. And that night, when all his comrades are sleeping, he turns on his flashlight under the blanket, opens the letter, and reads it again and again and again. Why is he reading it again? He already knows what it says. He's reading it again because every time he reads it, he's connecting back home. In every word, he can smell his wife's hair, feel the warmth of his baby's breath, hear the wind whistling in the trees on his farm. He aches so much to be with them, and this letter is what connects him to them. The Torah is so much more than a book of law. It is God's love letter to us, and in every word we can feel how much He misses us and wants us to be close to Him. And when we read it, we reconnect with Him again. We have a bond with Hashem that cannot be broken. From generation to generation, every Simcha Torah, we bring our children up here and we pass down this letter that we received from the Almighty. Yes, we read it over and over. And every time we do, we roll God's love letter back to the beginning and reconnect all over again. Chag Simcha Torah Sameach. Shalom and thanks for watching. If you like this video, please make sure to subscribe. And don't forget to visit simchatyisrael.org to learn more.